Alright guys, this is New Crown and I'm going to showcase what's probably the complete version of my build, which is a semi-cheap um, version of the Hierophant power siphon totem stacking, mana stacking, in stacking build, and I'm going to showcase it in the Uber Shaper fight. Um, I have a few ways to counteract the ball phase or the bullet hell phase, but I think with Arcane Cloak up and our Sapphire Flask, we should be able to tank three of the balls. So hopefully we can dodge things. And also, expecting to sort of the spell block node here, and with everything up, we should have maybe 50% spell block chance. So with the Flask up as well, and some other tech. Um, Now I do have a separate setup where I'm thinking of tanking the ball phase by swapping to the offhand, which puts me at a higher spell block chance because we can run um, Tempest Shield, hopefully. There you go. So Tempest Shield uh, plus the Flask will put us at 63, maybe 61. And with the Aegis Aurora effect, we get energy shield recovered per 2% armor. And we have a bit of max cold resistance there, and we're running Purity of Ice as well. So in total, this would give us 85 core res, and surprisingly, almost 60k ammo. Oh, 60k ammo when the flask goes. This is because we are specking into iron reflexes while stationary. So as you can see, when we're stationary, this is our armor. When we move and at the moment we stop, it goes back to 53k. So iron reflexes, this one, converts evasion rating to armor. Since we're running both determination and grace, with diversion determination, we also get 2% of evasion rating as extra armor. So we are already getting so much evasion from the build with the dexterity plus some other nodes and running grace itself. We just basically get a shit ton of armor and 2% of 2% of 50k is about 1000 um, recovery when we take damage. So maybe I can quickly weapon swap to this, and with the Frost Shield, Arcane Cloak as well, this would hopefully mitigate some damage. We can tank maybe 6 balls if we're really bad at dodging, but I'm not planning on swapping into this tech, but it is something that's, this is a tankier version of the build because we've got a lot of mitigation, although we're not max on fire rest, so we've got to be careful on when the Shaper comes back and beams you. So there is a tech, and then with this weapon swap, we quickly get back our auras just by putting everything on the spell bar here, the taskbar. Alright, so I can showcase the build in Uber Shaper. This is Uber Shaper. Now there might be a few hiccups. We might lose a few portals because the assets don't load. That's been my main issue when the graphics don't load. So sometimes we don't see the balls or we don't see Shaper slamming, even though we should be able to see him. And with the current setup, I think we have quite a lot of damage. It doesn't really actually show the proper amount of damage. But I can show you how quick we are at defeating some of these side bosses as well. And I'm running, instead of a movement plus, I've got a Sapphire Flask of Restlessness. So we still have, 68 move speed, but um, it's not 100 with our Flask, obviously. So this is a different one. I think we ran one earlier with a different set of bosses, and now it's this one. So you can see this is Uber Shaper. We are still eliminating the bosses. We're doing so much damage here. Actually, I forgot that we didn't bring himself down too low there. Okay. So we get onslaught by putting the totems down. So what's this one? Is it Brutus? So that was with some curse effect. We didn't really cast the curse effect earlier, but that's with the curse. Sometimes I'm thinking of dropping Frost Shield actually. Like I'm forgetting to press it anyway. So we curse them. They're dead. with the max stage there, we get a bit of extra lightning damage as well. Actually, am I running the right curses? Yeah, I'm running Elemental Weakness and Conductivity, which is what I wanted. I used to run Temporal Chains, but it's not really that good. You can see, melts the bosses. Now, we do have a cooldown to Arcane Cloak, so there's still a chance that Arcane Cloak might be down during the full health phase, so we just gotta dodge. So we put the totem somewhere behind because they might die. I think we tanked this slam there. I think. So this is the health phase, and hopefully back up. That should phase him, I think. Never mind. Did not phase him. I think if we played that properly, if we waited out the immunity period a bit, and if we got lucky with the first phase, if he didn't go into bullet hell, we could definitely phase him in one rotation. We have enough damage to actually phase him in one single go. So that's the tech actually with Shaper. All you have to do is stand in the bottom right and just dodge. I'm gonna wait a bit for Arcane Cloak. I'm gonna put it in the middle here. Run our Brittle Ground there. Run Frost Shield. I can actually see what's happening. Okay, I think we phased him. So all the bad stuff is on the upper ground, which is what we want, because the bottom side is all we're doing to dodge things. Again, I think we're not maximizing our damage output. We're missing a few rotations. But you can see I think we tanked quite a bit of Shaper Balls there. And we tanked 2 hits of his auto attack, which is pretty nice. Alright, wait for Arcane Surge. Let's put the ball somewhere here maybe. Interesting. There you go. Now without everything up, I think we don't do as much damage. But the moment we have everything up, so let's say chuck everything down, and then once we hit Arcane Cloak, 119k, and then 14 projectiles. So that's 1 point, maybe 1.3 million per totems, and we have 7. And then, if you take into account um, lightning exposure plus intimidate plus the curses, including sniper's mark, conductivity, elemental weakness, plus the brittle ground, that is a shit ton of damage. And I guess I'm not really min-max. I haven't min-maxed the build yet because I could still run. I still have a pair of boots that are much better than these ones. This one does have spell suppress, but my new boots would give me 10k mana, another bit of energy shield there, and 1.4k intelligence, 290 strength. So that's a better boots with the abyssal socket there, which I haven't got the right enchantment yet. So this does give me damage penetrates 10% of enemy elemental resistances, but this one I need is for the crit chance. So the build in the final form at the moment is 17 million Uber DPS. So I haven't done. So Guardian Pinnacle is 58 million. I think this is not taking into account Sigil of Power, um, which is also something to consider. And I don't think I've got the mana spent right here. Mana spent should be a bit higher if I keep spamming my totems, but yeah, that's the build at the moment. I've given up on a few nodes. So I've given up on. We could be getting more energy shield and mana if we spec into all of this, but that would mean getting less block chance, which I feel we do need on this build, the block chance. So this is because I'll showcase it maybe in a different video, but once we weapon swap into Aegis Aurora, um, and I showed you earlier, we do get quite high block chance. So spell block is 55, and I think with the flask up it'll be a bit higher. Where is it? Yeah, 61. I mean that's good enough, and we get the regen from the energy shield from the armor because of the Aegis Aurora effect. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting mechanic. Grailwood Shank plus Aegis Aurora. I've got 0 spell suppression. Well, I got 13 technically with the boots, but so if I swap into my endgame boots, there you go. That's what it looks like. So we do have to be, again, we're not capped on the other things. If we, where is it? The flask. If the flasks aren't all up, you're not really capped against some of these hits. So we got to be careful. But otherwise, yeah, pretty solid core damage taken for the Shaper fight. Obviously, I've tried a lot of other setups, and not just Aegis Aurora. Like I've tried +3 max core res shield with even more block chance here. So technically, maybe this is a bit more effective if we really wanted to run it. Yeah, so that's the build. Damage wise, as I've said, I've anointed point blank. I was pretty lucky. I think I spent maybe 5 tattoos in total. And I've sold now 15 tattoos back because I've reached rank 2000 in total, so that yields so much currency that I've sold. Um, so point blank is a just simple 30 damage multiplier to the build, so that's a big upgrade. What else is there? I could also, I think I'm not maximizing everything yet because I could also get um, where is it? Oh, because I've swapped it. I swapped back. Um, where is this? I could get mark effect on one of these nodes, of which I do have. Whoops, I'm not currently running it actually. I'm not currently running it, so that's the mark effect on the POB does add to the damage, even 5%. Just a single node adds up to it as well. So that's pretty good. And there's one other thing I wanted to say. I mean, I'm not running, so with Bottle Faith, this will skyrocket our. if the enemy is on consecrated ground. Yeah, that skyrockets our damage to 70 million. But obviously, I'm not running Bottle Faith. I'm not really running Bottle, what's it call it, Wise Oak either, because I'm making it automated here, so it's not really up consistently. Um, yeah, that's the build. Again, there's a much more expensive version, but less tanky, that uses righteous providence provident jewels, but those jewels combined cost maybe 100 or 90 div, which is completely ridiculous because I think one of them, the exart drop, costs about 90 div at the moment, and the other one costs 8, so maybe around 100 div total. I'm just running the Ritual of Awakening, which costs so much less, and we're capping our crit chance with just combination of items and everything else. So we're technically crit capped without investing much into anything else. Um, so yeah, that's the build. I'll link the updated version, I guess, into the POB um, in the comments section or description section. And the Uber Pinnacle DPS again, it's pretty good. Um, let's see if I tick the enemy on consecrated ground. See if that changes anything. Yeah, 20 mil DPS. That's pretty good to take down the bosses. And obviously, I think it's not a right. It doesn't calculate some things properly either. I'm pretty sure because the previous Shaper fight we melted them in one phase. Um, all right, that's it, guys. This is Neo Crown signing off. I might showcase a clip of me tanking the Shaper balls, but obviously I need to stop my blessing and then cast all my auras all at once in one smooth motion, and then hopefully this would help me tank the bullet hell phase and also provide me with a regeneration. I'm not saying this might work, but it's an interesting tech that does make you a bit tankier. This is Zero Crown signing off. Thanks for watching.